Welcome to another episode of The Big O Show. I'm your host, The Big O. Our guest today is a true definition of a multi-hyphenate powerhouse. You know her as a two-time Emmy Award-winning journalist and anchor for ARC Seattle. But her influence extends far beyond the news desk. From her early days as a child model for brands like Disney and Coca-Cola to being featured in Forbes as one of the youngest black women in America in a lead on-air position in a major U.S. market, she has navigated the media landscape with incredible intention. She is a published children's book author, a digital entrepreneur, and, an adjunct professor at Seattle University, where she's literally writing the curriculum for the next generation of storytellers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the woman making major moves in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. Tyrah Majors, welcome to the Black Media Matters studio.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. This is really special. Thanks for that introduction.
Oh yeah, come on. You know, you've been out here putting in the work, and that's actually what I want to get to today.
Okay, let's talk all about it.
Yeah. And before we do talk all about it, first of all, you know, what do you think being up in the space?
You're a stellar journalist. The entire Converge media team is doing amazing things. So being in this space, it feels right. It's a blessing. Like I said, I feel honored. You saw me walk through the doors like, wow, I've only seen this place online. So it feels really special to be here in person.
Right. Well, we're very happy to have you here. Okay, so the reason why we hit you up is just like, because I always see you doing stuff. You've been, like I said, major moves for sure. But, man, this Forbes 30 under 30 award, right? And we're going to get more into it in the interview, but it's kind of the premise of why you're here today. Absolutely. In the lead up to it. So maybe you can tell me what was the Forbes 30 under 30? And
yes.
What did they identify you for?
Yeah, so Forbes 30 under 30, every year they highlight people who are making accomplishments who are under the age of 30 in their specific industry. So I was highlighted as a group of 30 media professionals, or 30 under 30 media professionals highlighted in the media category for my work on ARC Seattle, and also as an adjunct professor at Seattle University. A complete shock to me when the news came out. It's such a blessing, really, to be on that list. I mean, they highlight people under age 30 in sports, healthcare, science, tech, artificial intelligence. So I'm in good company. Coco Gauff's on the list, which gives me chills just thinking about that.
Yeah, and so for me and for us here at Converge, you know, there's no way that we could see that incredible news and not reach out and uplift and amplify that. You know, in the larger media landscape, you know, for a lot of people who might not realize, you know, people all consider us competitors or things like that, but we're really not. But then even more than that, on the personal level, then on the black level, on so many different levels, right. It's like, this is something that we can highlight. There's a lot of accomplishments that you have that are tied to Tacoma or tied to ARC. And it's like, hey, Tyrah, we see you. But this one right here, we finally got an opportunity to make all the noise that you deserve, because what we're going to get into here, what people don't realize, is that it didn't happen overnight and it didn't happen alone, is that you've been putting in work for a long time. And unless somebody really kind of does some deep diving, and this is why I brought my deep dive paperwork.
Got your
here.
list there.
Oh yeah, this deep dive here, they might not realize how hard you work and have been working since you were a kid.
I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, seeing that Forbes 30 under 30 was a shock, but once it started to settle in, I told myself, this shouldn't be a shock. I deserve to be here. I did work for it. I can confidently say that now. It feels right. It feels right.
Right. And so taking it back, you're from San Diego?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be popular down in San Diego.
Born and raised San Diego, California, 619. Yes.
Yeah.
Moved there pretty much after high school. Yeah, that's home.
Yeah, man, I used to hang out. I used to stay at the Intercontinental down there.
Okay, fancy. I've never been
Yeah,
there.
and be popping at the Del Frisco. Del Frisco's is closed now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
San Diego's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. But as a teen, as a kid, as a young adult, you were an actor and a model. I mentioned it in the intro, big brands, Coca-Cola, Disney, but you're also like on set, underneath lights, taking direction, reading teleprompters at a young age. Clearly it had an influence, but hearing it from you, how did like your early life in basically media and acting and modeling, how was it propelled you?
Yeah, I mean, it prepared me for everything that I do now. I grew up in a really tight-knit family. I've got 3 siblings. My mom and dad also very immersed in the entertainment industry, and they put us all in it. We wanted to do it, but we started out, I was doing ballet. I did cheer in high school, so that comes with being in the spotlight. My brothers are musicians, my sister's a singer. We all did modeling and acting and things in some capacity. It's because we like to do it. We like to entertain people and be in front of the camera. I took theater classes in high school and in college. We were put in front of that spotlight at a very young age, but because me personally, being in that spotlight, performing in front of an audience, being under lights, I think immediately it took away that fear of, one, public speaking, but it also boosted confidence, being in front of people, knowing how to speak, knowing how to have poise. It's interesting, acting and modeling. It's a form of storytelling in a way, which ultimately led me to want to do journalism. It's still storytelling, just instead of being make-believe, you're telling people's real stories. But it prepared me for what I'm doing now 100%. And I have to give it up to my parents for giving us that space and those opportunities to be able to do that.
Yeah, I be seeing your parents, your family on your social media. First of all, the
Oh
Major
gosh,
family.
what do you see?
No, the Major family look good. Like,
Thank you.
I'm like, damn.
I love
Everybody in
them.
the family. And then I think it seems like your brother got married.
Yes, my older brother got married last year. My little brother's getting married this year.
And even the in-laws look good. Like
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like big shout out to Mama and Daddy Majors. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And one thing I really like is, it's social media. So, but taking it at face value for sure. I really like how one is like your family. You it's almost like you race to be with your family, or your family races to be together, and like the joy that when you guys are together and everything else. And matter of fact, this isn't on my list.
Oh my gosh.
But how important has that been in your career, being like, having that family unit? And because sure, we're talking about some of your successes and the Forbes and everything else, but there's no way that you get here without failures along the way.
Right.
So how important has your family been to you in your professional growth and development?
That's such a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. That gave me chills. I do race to my family, and I'm grateful that they race to me as well. I can't imagine life without them. Like I said, super close family of 6. We were pretty much up under each other growing up as kids, growing up in a small home. And yeah, it's the support system. It's a support system. Like you said, there are failures along the journey. There's rejection. There are no's. But having their support, having them being able to lift me up, to pray over me, all those things have been so vital and critical to my success. Love living in Seattle because it's a 2-hour flight down to San Diego. So I go home any opportunity I can, not only to get sunshine, but to see them as well. And yeah, I don't think we get sick of each other. That's we do get sick of each other sometimes. When we just take some breaks. But no, I love being around my family. We're all best friends. I talk to my mom maybe 5 times a day on the phone. Talk to my dad maybe twice on the phone just because he doesn't like to talk on the phone that much. But we're super close. They're my besties. Sometimes I forget they're my parents. And I'm like, okay, I'm telling them too much. Like, let me be back. Your parent, daughter, they're being judgmental now. But we are really close. Yes.
Man, that's dope. And you mentioned rejection. We'll get to that here in a second. But you went to USC. You went to USC for grad school?
USC for grad school. Cal State Fullerton for undergrad.
Okay, that's right. So Fullerton for undergrad.
Yes.
Now we're at USC at grad school, and you talk about this rejection you mentioned a minute ago here. And so now you often share this advice. This is what I found.
Okay.
Ask until they say yes.
Ooh.
All right.
Yes.
Which is how you launched your first talk show at USC.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a time in your professional journey where that persistence was the specific key to opening the door that seemed closed?
Oh my gosh, that goes back to college, I would say, or even senior year of high school. This didn't happen overnight. I mean, I wasn't the best student in high school. I was focused on doing the theater stuff and the cheerleading stuff. I didn't have the best GPA. I think I had like a 2.6 or something at graduation, which wasn't really much the standard you needed to get accepted into a 4-year. I didn't get into any college. I went to community college, which happened to be the best decision for myself. I wasn't going to go to a 4-year. I said, okay, I'm going to go to community college. And even the school counselors there told me it's going to take you 3-4 years to transfer out of here. And I remember going to that counselor's office and saying, absolutely not. What do I need to do to get me out of here in 2 years so I can transfer to a 4-year? And I proved them all wrong. I did summer school, winter quarter school, winter break school, spring break school, anything I could to make sure that I was able to get those yeses into a 4-year. Let's see. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But I would say it goes back to high school, college, being told no, rejection, it comes with it. Thankfully, I have not experienced a whole lot of rejection when it has come to finding a job in my professional life. This is only my 2nd job. So that's been amazing in itself, but I'm prepared for it. Even going back to my childhood, you mentioned the modeling and acting days. You go to maybe 100 auditions a year or more, and you get told no for like 90% of those. It builds resilience. You have to just keep going.
Right. And man, this is so interesting. So many questions. All right. So you go there to the community college,
yes.
Go to Fullerton, and
yes.
go to USC. Now, in USC, at that point, you were like, I want to be a journalist, or?
Absolutely, yes. I actually discovered I wanted to be a journalist, I would say, in community college. I went to Santa Barbara City College, and there I took a journalism course, my first ever introduction to journalism. And then that felt like, okay, this is kind of what I've been doing on stage or theater, except it's more rigorous. It's real life stuff. And in Cal State Fullerton, majored in journalism, took a bunch of journalism classes, had internships at local news stations. Wasn't completely ready to go into the professional workforce after undergrad. And I also really love school. So just decided to go to get my master's degree. And I did an 11-month master's program at USC for journalism. And that was really fun.
Right. And so you launched your show. You launched your Major Moves, was right? Moves. While you were at USC, right?
Launched it at USC.
And we got some great clips that we're gonna make sure and edit in. And you talking to Bev when they launched their
oh my gosh.
I think it was I forget, it was a few different artists that were in there. And we also got your blooper reel.
Oh, please. No. Why the bloopers? All of that's part of the journey. I mean, you probably look at yourself when you first started in the media and you start somewhere and you just improve. But I look back at some of those clips and I'm just cringing. I'm like, why did I sound like that?
Well, I think that the reason why I brought that up is because, you know, we're talking to Tyrah Majors, the Forbes 30 under 30, the host over there at ARC Seattle, a professor, an author, but there's a lot of people. It's important that people realize that there was that journey.
Yeah.
And, major moves and so many probably other things that are out there that maybe we couldn't even find what was part of that journey. Because I always tell people, especially young people, put it out. That's my biggest thing when people put it out. I say, put it out, let your friends hurt your feelings, then put something else out.
Oh, yeah.
And then put something else out and keep going. That's the only way to get better is to keep putting it out.
I completely agree. You got to watch your progress. And then what's cool is looking back at those clips like, okay, I came this far. But those mess ups, those bloopers, those funny moments, the cringy moments had to happen for this to happen. Right. So, hey, I appreciate it. Not you digging up all the dirt.
No, well, we we want to be in Forbes. So my mama, right? My mom, the reporters would always sit there, and the informed reporters were, they already knew what's up, right? But like the reporters would hit my mom, and then they would hit her with blanket questions like, well, tell us about your organization or tell us about the work. My mom would be like, man, you get paid to know this information.
Right.
How you showing up over here cold and I'm supposed to do your story for you? You know what I'm saying? So I always remember that. I'd be like, ooh, I done invited somebody here. Let me make sure I got it together.
Absolutely. That's the whole point of being a journalist, because you're supposed to give people information they don't know, they can't find themselves, right? You can Google, what's your organization about? But
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, let's see here. We talk about the big jump.
Yes.
So I'm assuming now, I'm putting this timeline together that you get out of graduate school and you get a job in television, and you're in Bakersfield, California, which is market 124, 125. Big shout out to Bakersfield. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Everything starts somewhere. Exactly. But you go from market 124 to number 12, Seattle.
Yes.
Number 12 at the time, at just 24 years old. What was the biggest internal hurdle that you had to overcome when stepping into such a major leadership role at such a young age?
Internal struggle. Well, first off, it was really exciting to get that call. Hey, Seattle is calling, answer. And when Seattle calls, you pick up and you say yes. I said yes. Getting here, I felt so happy and so confident and over the moon. And that feeling didn't completely go away. But when I saw the newsroom I was stepping into with the Eric Johnsons of the world and the Connie Thompsons of the world and the Steve Pools of the world, these are the greats, the Como greats. And I'm like, wait, imposter syndrome on 100 right now. And I sort of had this feeling, I'm not ready for this. But also I knew, well, if I wasn't ready for this, they wouldn't have called me. So I had to embrace it. But I knew some people probably were wondering, how did this girl get this job? Didn't know anything about Seattle, hired to do traffic, didn't know anything about the roads. But I figured it out. And I knew I had it in me to do the job. And that's what I did. I worked so hard when I got here to prove those people wrong. I got a lot of messages from viewers. The viewers watching it, the neighborhoods outside of Seattle, just like, who's this young girl who you hired here? Who's this? Like, she doesn't know Seattle, or her skirts are too short, her dresses are too short, whatever it was. A lot of criticism. More criticism than positive comments when I was first hired here in 2020. That was during the pandemic. Weird time to move to a new city, but prove them wrong. Those messages turned into positive messages. And so it was a lot of, I had to do a lot of positive self-talk and also lean into my mentors as well and family as well to help me feel like, okay, I do deserve to be here. But that was probably the biggest internal struggle, just that imposter syndrome, just being so young and the youngest person at the time in the newsroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you, like you said, you was walking into a newsroom full of bosses.
Heavy hitters.
They showed you there on the wall. Connie Thompson was the very first signature ever on the wall here in the Black Media Matters studio was Connie Thompson and Jesse Jones that same day. But then you talked about, Steve Poole and Brian Johnson. I mean, yeah, like Como, when you arrived, there's legendary people.
Absolutely, yes. Steve Poole had just retired about a year and a half before I started. Connie Thompson retired like 6 months before I got there, and Eric Johnson was on his way out. So yeah, it felt like, okay, this is the place to be. This is a good place to be. So show them you could do it.
How much do you feel that like your look might play against you in some professional situations or circumstances? I mean, clearly you used to be a model. I mean, I still see you on the runway. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, doing your thing and everything else. What assumptions might somebody make about you by the way that you look that they're not taking into consideration this journey that me and you have been discussing today?
I've never been asked this question before. That's very interesting. Let's see. Can you?
Well, I'm just saying that it's like when you were talking about you were getting feedback and it was negative feedback. How much of the way maybe that you look played into that?
Well, perception is everything. You see this young girl from California, young Black girl from California. Like I mentioned, there was a lot of comments coming in about my appearance, less about the work I was doing. It was about, oh, her hair looks like this, or her skirt is too short, or her shoes look like that. And it's just like, why is that the focus? One, I think that does come with being a woman in the industry. It comes with being a Black woman in media. It comes with the job as well. It's part of the territory. You put yourself on camera, there's going to be critics. And then it also is, unfortunately, an industry that is somewhat about vanity as well. It's TV, so people are looking at you. I think maybe people doubted me at the beginning. They were focused on appearance, not necessarily my work. So I think a lot of the critics at the time maybe had doubts that I could, be a voice for them, be a public servant.
Clearly you've navigated through that.
Wow, that was an interesting question. I'm gonna start thinking about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I get it in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean,
tell me.
Converge is crazy. There's not too many more boxes for us to check. But we get way more closed doors and closed opportunities and everything else based off of assumption.
Yeah.
It's based off of assumption. I mean, we make dope stuff that some of our content, it goes all around the world. A lot of it's on national television. I think that we do well here. We got stuff on airplanes. But in this city, because we the Black folks from the CD, and it's the perception. So a lot of doors we never even get to walk into because people see us as these Black kids from the CD where we hardly ever get judged on our work in a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? Do we let it stop us? No, we just doubled down on our Blackness and have way more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tale as old as time. I mean, and I wish things were in that way, but it's the way things are. But yeah, you don't stop. You don't stop because doors are closing. More doors are going to open. Yeah. You keep amplifying your stories and your people. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So you with us for a little while,
Team
right?
Converge. Yes.
All right. So look, we're going to take a quick break. Okay. And when we come back, we're going to continue talking about Tyrah's journey, major moves. Tyrah is in the building. You're watching The Big O Show.
Baseball field was my home. It was the first place I ever felt like I truly belonged, and this place belongs to everyone. Baseball and softball belong to everyone. What if there's a kid whose path is through baseball and softball, but they got lost through that pipeline? That's what fuels this work. We need to be dreaming bigger for our young people.
The Seattle Mariners have got the right people in the right place that's really striving to see baseball and softball equity across the landscape of our Northwest region. And that just not only does that focus on our Seattle market, it's now looking at Alaska and Oregon.
The Mariners certainly have a diamond of opportunity, and we have to show people what's possible.
The opportunities are expansive in all sorts of dimensions.
It's the dream that sees these boys and girls out here playing, having the ability to now become the future of Major League Baseball and the future of the AUSL.
100% all the way, 110%, giving it everything I got.
By just being more consistent, training more, I want to actually be up there with all like Aaron Judge and Mookie Betts and all of them. Like that's where I want to be. Really, that's everybody's dream.
It means a lot. Baseball means a lot to me. This is the only thing that will take us out of state and go represent Alaska.
Our kids don't get a chance to travel like that very often. And just to have that experience and let them know that there's something bigger than, just these four corners of Mountain View. It's beyond, beyond what I can imagine.
That's the beauty of community. You just don't know what your impact is going to be. And you may plant a seed today. You may never see it come to fruition, but at some point it'll grow into a tree. And that's what it's all about is planting a seed here, planting a seed there, and then watching it grow. And when you sow a seed out of love, good things will happen.
Welcome back to the Big O Show. I'm your host, the Big O, and we are joined today by Tyrah Majors. Tyrah.
Hi.
This has been such a great conversation so far.
I'm having so much fun.
You know what I'm saying? We got some good questions going here.
Yes.
So before we went to break, that was like your arrival here in Seattle from market 124 to market 12, right? At 24 years old. Hello. So inside that building at the time when you arrived, what's now the CW or ARC was Univision.
Yes.
And then a few years ago, and you would know best, of course, Sinclair made a decision. They offloaded Univision and brought in CW and it's ARC Seattle.
Yes.
And you are the co-morning anchor there. ARC Seattle, was it 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.?
7 to 10 a.m. Yes.
Hello.
ARC Seattle. ARC stands for Authentic Relevant Community.
Hello. 3 hours of greatness in the morning, huh?
It's a big stretch of morning TV with a lot of talking, but I'm really proud of the content we've been able to put together. We launched, like you said, 3 years ago now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have a question.
Okay.
Here about ARC. So you played a pivotal role in creating ARC Seattle. How does this conversation style program reflect your vision for the future of local news, especially for a younger, digitally native audience?
Mm-hmm. It's important. It's where we are, digitally native audiences. They are looking, I think, for what that A in ARC stands for, authenticity, just like we're doing here. We're talking, we're having a conversation. It feels less like a traditional newscast and more like a conversation with a friend, still talking about the big news stories that are important for everybody to know, no matter the age. We're just doing it in a more relaxed format. And so for me, it was an easy yes to jump on board with a show like ARC Seattle because we're looking at the present day and we're looking at the future.
Yeah. I'll be up early.
Watching ARC.
Yeah, I'll watch a show.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. When I'm up early and I watch TV, I'll be honest with you, is that like my mom used to always watch Channel 4. And so as a kid, we grew up watching, watching Connie Thompson and watching Steve Poole.
Yes.
And then this ABC Evening News with Peter Jennings.
Yes.
Like that's how far back we go. So like Channel 4 was always like, number one as a kid. So there I see you. Then the Shantae is over there at Channel 5.
Shout out Shantae.
So they pop in. And so, in the mornings, I'm watching one of y'all.
How do you choose?
Huh?
Channel 5 or Channel 4? How do you decide?
But I don't think not forced. So you got by default. Except for Thursdays, though. I keep it real. Thursdays, of course, is Fox 13. Good Day Seattle with Basa Gordon is on there in the 8 o'clock hour. But yeah, like when I started checking out what you guys were doing at ARC, I was like, okay, this is more kind of like what we need here.
Thank you for saying that. What do you mean by that?
Because it's like, it's a show it's still news, it's still timing, there's still clocks, there's still whatever. But I see like it's a place where people could actually kind of still like take their breath.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You could breathe a little bit. And a lot of times TV, especially TV at that hour, it's a lot of scripting, it's a lot of whatever. But it seems like you could tell that, yes, there's the points to get across, but it seems like there's space and also for conversation. And there's also space for maybe like how you might feel, or how was it, Steve, right?
1000%. Yes, Steve McCarran.
Or how Steve might feel. And to be able to authentically be like, well, I kind of see it like this. Well, I see it like that, and you need more of that, because the way that things are becoming more polarized in our market, especially what people are saying is news and things like that, and the amount of time that's being given to actual free thought and everything else is being reduced. So a space where you can just go and have conversation is important.
Thank you. That's what it is. It's a space for free thought. Like you said, we're talking about the news, but we are allowing each other to talk about what we think about a certain issue or topic or law or event. We do fun stuff too on there. But then the other part about ARC Seattle is we're bringing the conversation online on TV. So we're letting the viewers have their free thought as well. Hey, we pulled this comment off of Facebook or off of Twitter, which is now X. And this is what they're saying about this. So we're letting it be, a free space for people to have discourse, share their opinion, share what they think. And I think that's going a long way. Yeah,
no, it's good. I done seen quite a few people over there on I'd be like, hey, look, just the homie over there with Tyrah.
Right, and that's it's community. We need to have you on the show, but it's
I'm here for
bringing the community on, giving them a platform, because there's so many cool people here and so many people doing amazing things. And ARC Seattle, it's just allowed me and Steve to give them a space to talk about it.
Yeah, and allowing people to talk without talking over them. It's a great thing.
That's a skill.
All right, and so now you're also a professor here.
Yes.
Up at Seattle University, and I had the pleasure of speaking to your students a few years ago. I was up in there. I was still kind of fresh off the protest, so they got raw.
Yeah, it was like 2021 or 2022, and
they had, I'm a bit more refined since those days, but it was real though, and I think that my experience there, like the students, because I'm always talking to, I'm always at the UW or even at Seattle U. Back a few times, Western Washington, Central Washington, Eastern Washington, because that's the one place that, like, when people call, I'll come. Yeah. For young people and for college students, these old folks, man, it take a lot to get me to move.
For sure.
I'm like, man. But whenever the colleges call me, I always show up for the colleges.
Thank you for doing that, by the way. You're still one of my students' favorite guest speakers. It's young minds, and they had a lot of questions for you that day.
I'm ready to come back, too, by the way. So part of what you teach is social media and the news. What's the number one lesson you want your students to understand about the power and responsibility of building a personal brand in 2026?
Oh, my gosh. That's a great question. There's so many lessons and there's so many things I try to instill in them. But I would say for 2026, can I share a few?
Sure.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Be innovative. Keep an open mind. Trends are great. Explore trends. But also when building your brand, don't let those trends overshadow who you are. I feel like there are a lot of analysts, a lot of talking heads, a lot of content creators who are doing the news, doing journalism without the credentials, which is fine sometimes, but you have to do it in the right way. You've got to be factual. You have to be spreading correct information. So I would just urge students, all young storytellers out there, if you're going to do the news on social media and be a storyteller, tell the truth and cite your sources, be credible, be a trusting voice, but don't just make up stuff. There's a lot of that going on social media right now, and it scares me. And so 2026, we're in a new year. People are getting their news off of TikTok and Instagram and whatever else apps are out there that I don't know of. And misinformation can just spread like wildfire. So I just tell them, build your brand, try new things, but you need to develop trust.
No, that's real. And yeah, man, like, I don't know. Like, so for me, I had a different route to this chair next to you. I actually had a degree in geology and a minor in environmental science.
Yeah.
And I was discovered. I was doing radio at our college station, WRVS 89.9.
I love the radio voice.
Come on, Big O on the slow jams.
Ooh.
But, so I was doing sports and color commentary, and, and I got discovered, right? And discovered, well, first I got discovered by the people at the university. They were like, ooh, you need to be in radio. I'm like, I'm a geologist. And then discovered by N1, the basketball network, Hoops TV, all of that kind of stuff. And so the route was a little bit different. But one thing I learned even in my route was, like, anything that you're consuming, this news, look for alternative sources.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't have to go to journalism school or have a master's degree in broadcasting or anything. For people, the everyday person should realize it, especially now. It's like, dog, you can't just take 2 sentences off of X and, like, that's the truth.
Right.
And even if it is true what they're saying, it still lacks context. It's the truth in what context. That's the one thing that really scares me, is that, like, younger people that I'm bumping into, and I love it, Big O love the kids, you know what I'm saying, already. Not Big O love the kids, but they're not really sourcing the information.
It's very easy to copy and paste a headline or to read what you're seeing on the screen and talking about it on TikTok or Instagram. Like you mentioned, there are plenty of successful journalists out there who don't have those journalism credentials per se, but they're prepared, they're doing research, they have the context and the sources. So, hey, we're on the same page with that. The kids, they're going to learn. They're going to learn.
Who say you're gonna learn today? You're gonna learn today. All right, so I want to switch gears with you here a little bit, because you be doing everything, dog. I can put my papers down on this one right here.
Okay.
No, it's one. I don't know how you find the time, but then people be saying that to me too, and I'd be like, well, I don't know. The time's just always there for me to do great things.
There, you find the time.
Yeah, but you're also an author, and that's something that people might not realize. And that you wrote a children's book, Grammy and Me.
Yes.
And you also illustrated that book, and you did all this while you were at USC, right?
At Cal State Fullerton.
At Cal State, actually at Cal State Fullerton, right? And so you wrote a children's book, Grammy and Me, based off of your relationship with your grandmother. Yes. And you illustrated it while you were in college.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there's no other shoe that's dropping. I'm just kind of, if we had the air horn back there, I'm just like, that it is dope. But, maybe you can tell us one about the book. I mean, clearly your grandmother was the inspiration for it.
Oh, yes.
Why did you decide that a book was the route? And, what does that feel like to be an author? And do you plan to write any other books?
I would love to write more books. I love reading to kids and talking to kids and obviously inspiring the next generation, all that. But I actually wrote that book on accident. Like I was very close with my great grandma. She passed away in 2014 when I was in college. And I remember journaling because I always loved to write. And I was journaling, just jotting down like my memories I had with my Grammy. And I brought it home one weekend from college and read it to my mom and my dad. And my mom was like, this sounds like a children's book, kind of. Like, you should look into it. So that's what I did. And I turned it into a short children's book. And I love to draw as well. That's kind of like, that is my hobby that I don't publicize, drawing. I love sketching. Like, I used to just doodle in class. That's probably why I didn't do well in high school, because I was always drawing. I still do sometimes at work, like in the commercial break. I'm drawing on my notes. It's just something I like to do. So I decided to do the illustrations and put the book together and work with a small publishing house. And it's history. I've been wanting to turn it into a series and focus it on a different family member, but the news, the news. Yeah. The news is all too consuming. So I haven't, once again, had the time to sit and write another book, but I would love to someday. But in the meantime, it's Grammy and Me, and it's at some local children's bookstores here in Seattle, and that's been fun. And it's on Amazon if you want to get a copy.
Go ahead. There's a place where you can plug all your stuff, by the way.
Grammy and Me, Third Place Books. Where else is it at? I don't have the list right now. Amazon, TyrahMajors.com. Thank you.
Exactly. Pick that up. You know what I'm saying? There's no restrictions over here.
I love it. I'm so used to traditional media where you can't really promote stuff all the time like that.
Man, matter of fact, we might even put a blinking sign on the screen. Buy now.
I like the Big O Show. I like the Big O Show.
Come on, man. And by the way, I was going to tell you, that was like, yeah, as soon as Mama Majors was like, ooh, you know, because she got an eye for things, right?
My mom has she's going to love listening to this and watching this. She's going to be like, oh my gosh. Yes, my mom does have an eye for things. She picks out my clothes. She has a good fashion sense. She can style things, plan parties, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'll be looking at Mama Majors on your social media, and I'll be like, man, okay.
Shout out Mama Majors. Yes.
All right, what else we got? Oh, now it's about that time.
It's about that time. Okay.
Now we're talking about this Forbes thing.
Okay.
But you see what's dope is that we've been talking almost like 40 minutes here about everything but that. Yeah. Because for people to appreciate it maybe as much as you do, they need to understand and hear this journey to get here. Right. That's why we ain't start with this like, oh, hey, Tyrah, congratulations, this and that. And we would leave our audience, we would do our audience a disservice because they hadn't heard now this journey of somebody who even back in high school was like, oh, am I going to get out of here? And then went to community college and then went to Fullerton and then went to USC and then launched a show, you know what I'm saying? Major moves with Tyrah Majors. And then you go and you get your first job in Bakersfield. And, you know, most people out of college, like anything, you're happy just to be somewhere.
Right.
In market 124. And then at 24 years old, you come here into the 12th biggest market in America, into by any standards, a legendary and an epic newsroom that preceded you there at Como 4.
Yes.
You know, and then on top of all these other things, it's like, let me do something else. Let me go and be a professor over at Seattle University. And let me be out here in community and doing all those things. So I see the journey, and I was just important that our viewers at least get a glimpse of it. So now we'll talk about this accolades of Forbes.
Thank you, Omari. Yes.
Yeah. And so
it's a long list, right?
It's Forbes now, so let me tighten up on the conversation. You know what I'm saying? All right. So being featured in Forbes, it's a massive milestone.
Thank you.
When you saw that feature, what was the first thing you thought about regarding your journey from San Diego to where you are now?
Regarding my journey, well, the first thing I thought when I saw that was, is this a scam? Like one of my friends, someone who I, speak to, but not often, DM'd me a link on Instagram and said, congrats. And I was like, this is spam. Like, should I click on this? I clicked on it and saw like Forbes.com. It was the real Forbes. And I was like, oh my gosh. And this happened during the newscast while my co-anchors, they're doing the news. And I'm, at my traffic computer getting ready for my next report. And I'm silently kind of crying to myself. Like and I couldn't make a big announcement because they're in the show. Like, I don't know what was on the news at the time, probably something depressing. So I had to hold it in for a little bit. But it was pure joy, shock. Just tears of joy, happiness. Like I mentioned before, it felt like a shock at the beginning, but once it continued to bake in and settle in, it felt like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. I deserve this. I read the write-up about me on Forbes.com and found the editor's emailed her, thanked her for the feature, thanked her for being on the list. And she said, you were nominated and a panel of judges picked you in your media category. And I was just over the moon. Still am. I picked up physical copies. There's a local magazine. I haven't been to like a magazine stand before ever. And there's one in the U District. And I went and bought like 3 copies. What it's called? I think it's called Bulldog News. Yeah, yes, Bulldog News. Yeah. I was like, I'm at a newspaper stand right now buying copies of Forbes that I'm in. It was just, that was an epic moment in my life, I would say.
That's dope.
Still on that high. Thank you. Thank you. It feels dope.
Yeah, like, I mean, so that's the best thing about us is like we doing what people who happy for you supposed to do with what they, you know what I'm saying? We're like, we're happy for you. Let's uplift you. Come in here. Let's kick it. You know, pop it up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like we're really happy for you. And the means that we use is we're in media. We got a studio and man, we're using what we do to uplift you, to show how happy that we are and proud of you.
Thank you. And I admire that you would amplify your community here. I can't remember how we first got connected here in Seattle, but you were one of the first people I met. I mean, this was back in 2021. Do you remember the first time?
We met at Jimi Hendrix Park. It was like it was either Juneteenth or something like that. It was one of those events where and all you guys were out there.
Besa introduced us.
Right.
Besa introduced
us over there at that's Jimmy, right?
Jimi Hendrix
that
Park.
is Jimmy.
It was a Juneteenth. You're right about that.
From NAM.
Yes.
Yeah, I met you right there. As a matter of fact, I still got the picture. We're going to have to put it in the episode.
Yes. With me, you, Besa. Yes, we have to put it up there. But I appreciate your support and amplifying me and everybody around you. You've been a huge support system here in Seattle since I've been here. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm almost here to the end too. This is great. We're doing pretty good. So, mentioned it before. Well, actually, so you said how you felt in the moment.
Yeah.
But have you had an opportunity to, or maybe that's what came, those were all the emotions that came to the surface, is that you did look back at your journey.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, okay, this is kind of all paying off. I'm being recognized.
I definitely sat with myself and just reflected and thought about everything you basically mentioned, you know, the high school days, the college days, the first market days. I mean, I've been going nonstop. I remember there were times in between school or in between, summer breaks when my friends were studying abroad or taking summer vacations, or I was still in school. And I remember crying, like, once again, tears of joy. Like, I didn't take any breaks, and this is why. Like, it's been revealed to me now. Before I was just like, oh my gosh, maybe I should take a break after Cal State Fullerton. Why am I rushing in to go to grad school? And then after grad school, why am I rushing into a job when I can just hang out for a little bit? But I didn't. I'm happy that I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we happy too. So talk about representation.
Yes.
Like I said, you were recognized there by Forbes as one of the youngest Black women in a lead on-air position in a major U.S. market. How do you view your role in opening the door to the next generation of journalists who look like you?
We're in the Black Media Matters studio right now.
Come on, man.
It matters. There's a huge sense of responsibility. Saying that I'm one of the only it's a bit of a sad thing, to be honest. Yeah. There should be more of us, right, in these spaces. But given the fact that I am, you accept it and you run with it. There's a huge responsibility, not only one, to amplify my community here in the Pacific Northwest, but also to share those stories, give people a voice, but also on a personal level, just to be a good role model. Be a good role model, show young girls and young boys that it's possible to do this. So there's a responsibility that I feel and that I carry.
All right, good stuff. I'm gonna jump forward here. When actually you did give some ethical tips for young people, for like in your class. You're like, tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Be honest.
Don't be a grifter. But you're known as a mobile first storytelling. For aspiring journalists watching, why is it no longer enough just to be a good writer or a good speaker in today's media landscape?
Well, writing, I will say writing is so important still, but it's that innovation. And I need to take my own advice too. Nothing has to be perfect. You got to just be willing to try things. You know, perfectionism doesn't necessarily exist. And I think what people are watching at home and online want to see is just real natural stuff. So just get on the phone and talk to the camera, whatever your expertise or passion is, just do it. That would be my biggest advice. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. You know, for me, the best thing that ever happened to me, at Elizabeth City State University was Greg Sampson, rest in peace, ran the radio station. We had just got all the digital equipment, but man, he made us cut tape, like reel to reel, splice tape, and do all these other kinds of things. And the fundamental skills have taken me all over the world. You know, I've been to over 60 countries and in so many places. It's because I know how to write, I know how to direct, I know how to edit video, I know how to edit audio. You know what I'm saying? I know how to put a TV show together. I know how to put a radio show together.
Yeah.
In some cases, shit, I know how to sweep a floor. I mop too, you know?
You have to be willing to do any.
Exactly.
You have to be willing to say yes.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I mean, at the beginning, you got to say yes. That's what I did. I feel like I'm just getting to the place where, okay, it's okay to say no. I'm not doing that, but yeah.
And having those skills, like if I only knew like radio as in talking as a radio presenter, there's so many, I would have never been on air overseas. Because when I went overseas, it was like, well, yeah, if you can put a whole show together and know how to do this, this, and that, it's all yours.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But sitting there at WRVS and learning, okay, this is actually every step in radio meant that I could move around different countries around the world and walk right into a radio job, even when English wasn't the primary language.
Ooh, that's deep. That's real. How did you navigate that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, come on, man.
Just do it.
Big O, everywhere like
Big
air.
O. Yeah, you got to learn how to do everything. I mean, I remember trying everything in my internships. You know, I was sitting with the directors in the booth, the audio people, the teleprompter runners, the anchors. Be multifaceted, versatile.
Right. All right. So I got one last question here and then one or two quick fires. I'm going to let you go.
Hey.
All right. So the major future.
Oh my gosh. Major future. Wow.
You've already achieved so much. You got 2 Emmy awards, and probably I'd say if you got 2 awards, you probably got quite a few nominations as well. Yeah. Or are you 2 for 2, huh?
I think I'm like 4 for 2.
Okay.
Which is not horrible.
That's me too. I've got one. I'm like 1 for 4 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But so you got them statues. You're an author. What's the next major move? What's the next major move on the horizon for Tyrah Majors?
Make it to age 30. Celebrate my 30th birthday.
Hello.
I want to have fun. I want to give myself a nice little break, a nice little vacation. I think that's a major move. That's actually my New Year's resolution this year. Oh. It's I just said it like 2 days ago. What is it? Using rest as a strategy, not as a reward. Because we do so much here. And yes, you're reading off my accomplishments and accolades, and I'm like, wow, I really have done a lot. So I think I want to reward myself with, not reward, but using rest as a strategy. I think that's a major move in itself. Mm-hmm. In terms of career, though, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to do it on a larger scale someday. I don't know what that looks like exactly, but I think time will tell. I'm excited about the future. But yeah, taking some time for myself and keep doing meaningful work.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So I'll just ask you 1 or 2 of these real quick here. Man, I already know the answer to this one. I'll skip over.
You already know the answer?
Yeah, it's like, whose quick fire question was this? I'm gonna have to follow up with you guys.
I love quick fire questions.
Okay, well, somebody in here wrote this one, so I won't hurt nobody's feelings. Tyrah, be honest. Do you truly prefer the Seattle gray clouds, or do you secretly miss the San Diego sun?
You know the answer, yeah. No secret. San Diego sun. But like I do go home so often, so I get that sunshine. I get my vitamin D. I love dressing for the Pacific Northwest, though. Put some cute winter fashion on.
That leads us into another quick fire question then. What is one piece of clothing you've added to your wardrobe since moving to Seattle that you can now live without? You can't live without.
My North Face jacket, a rain jacket, period. I didn't own one before I moved here. I didn't have rain boots. I didn't have a rain jacket. So I guess I can't live without those things.
All right. If you had a friend visiting for one day, would you take them to the waterfront or a hidden urban hike in the city, or
a hike? Well,
I'm not taking nobody
I
hiking.
don't go hiking.
Ain't no food in here.
There's no water. It's too dirty. It's bugs. I'm just not a nature girly. I've been on a couple hikes here, but I just can't really get on board. I would take them to the waterfront. It's beautiful. It's new. It's improved. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm a big foodie though. I would just take them to all the restaurants, all the food spots.
Yeah, you got any go-to food spots?
It depends what kind of food you're looking for. Like, I don't know. There's everything here. That's my favorite part about Seattle. There's everything here.
All right. And then, okay. This is a good one here. You're up early.
Yes.
You're not
So
up
are
as
you.
early as you used to be, though, right? Are you still up early?
I wake up at 2:30 a.m.
2:30
every day.
Okay. So, what is the Tyrah Majors signature coffee or matcha order to power through a early morning show?
Plain hot water.
Really?
I just drink plain hot. I drink coffee too, but I just drink basic Keurig K-cup, just like black coffee with one vanilla cream. But I have 1 cup of coffee and then just drink straight hot water all throughout the day. You should do that. It helps, your voice, you're talking all day, just sip on hot water. It just helps me feel clear.
Okay. I'm with all that. I can't believe, and I'm so thankful that you gave us an hour of your time today.
I'm thankful for you guys and your whole production crew here. Everybody's amazing. And it's just awesome to be sitting here in this chair where you've had so many great guests after guests, and sitting here with you. Big O, like I said, stellar journalists.
Hey, well, we just doing what we can, one day at a time. But I really thought I was thinking ever since I saw the 30 under 30 and a lot of stuff, we just kind of boost and amplify on social media, right? But I know that one thing that happens a lot of times with us, when I say us, I mean Black folks in this market, is that we have accomplishments and either there's no capacity or space or sometimes no willingness for us to uplift each other. And I mean, we bump into that a lot. That's why we're always celebrating ourselves. If you ever see Converge, we're in constant state of celebration because we're always celebrating our people and our accomplishments. But I did know what I didn't want to do is just us be like, hey, me, go ahead and repost Tyrah's post here or do something. And so just know that like this has been cooking for a minute. Since you first announced it, because we were like, how can we be intentional and in uplifting and amplifying your work the way that it's supposed to be? What's the use of owning and operating a Black media platform if we, no matter where anybody's at, affiliation or news station or whatever, if you're doing great things, that we can't uplift you. And so I'm thankful for this opportunity and for you coming to the studio and making time, taking a break from making major moves to come and sit down with us.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for giving us this space. Thank you for giving me this space. And I appreciate you being intentional. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
This has been so fun.
Tyrah Majors. That's it, everybody.
Go.
Out of here. It never works out. We're always like, I'm like, yeah, Eric, don't worry. It'll be like 20-minute interview. It was like an hour. But it's all good though, because one thing that I want viewers to really get out of this interview, and especially hopefully younger viewers, and also Mama Majors, because she got hella shout outs in here. But I want people to get out of this is that Tyrah Majors didn't get here alone, and she didn't get here overnight. And these journeys in media, and it's great, and we want to celebrate that accomplishment of Forbes 30 under 30. But like when you listen or you watch this interview, that you'll see that it's a journey, and it's a journey of determination and a journey of commitment. I mean, and sacrifice. So we honor Tyrah, and this is a great moment of recognition. But if you've learned anything from this interview, you should know that like she's taking it in and being like, okay, cool, now what's next? So speaking of that, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for tapping in. I'll catch you on the next episode of The Big O Show. Peace.
Thank you.